Hello and a very warm welcome to all the viewers of Crypto TV. This is Manoj Dara. We have seen a broader concern in the cryptocurrency market, which has fallen roughly around 40% since the beginning of this year, on concerns over rising inflation and broader concerns over the US markets. Terra Luna has also triggered a broader fall in the cryptocurrency market. To understand the aspects of cryptocurrency market in detail and what is the way forward, and specifically to discuss about what's the strategy of Ethereum, we have invited a special guest for you. Mr. Samrat Kishore, Regional Head of Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and Co-Chairman of Baseline Protocol. Samrat, welcome on Crypto TV.
Thank you so much, Manoj. It's always a pleasure to be at Crypto TV, and congratulations on the success of you've achieved so far and the events you've covered.
Thank you so much, Samrat. You are a well-wisher. We know that, and we appreciate your presence as well. So we are talking about cryptocurrency market and its way forward. We have seen a bigger fall in the markets on concerns over rising interest rate, and there is also a concern over inflation, as we are talking about,
Right.
and a near collapse of the entire Terra ecosystem, which has seen $40 billion worth of market cap being wiped off. So what's your view on this? If you can just begin with.
Sure, Manoj. So definitely the past few weeks have been very difficult for crypto investors, as you rightly pointed out. In fact, I was reading a report. I think the analyst says that in as many terms that people who entered the crypto market after 2020, they're currently in red. So
Exactly.
all their gains have potentially been wiped out, and they don't know what's the bottom. So how low these currency rates will fall, which currencies are they investing in, and this I'm talking about in general.
Sure.
I'm not talking about any specific currencies. So definitely, as you rightly pointed out, there are various concerns which have kicked in. A recent trend that we also noticed. I mean, whatever I talk about, it's all my personal research, so don't consider this any official statement. But I'm just saying that I noticed that a lot of institutional investment has come in, and
Perfect.
that institutional investment is very different from the kind of investments that we were seeing before, say the 2019 rise of cryptocurrency prices. So before that, the investment thesis used to be people following other people believing on projects, and they were they were in the real sense hodlers. They were holding on to tokens, and they were investing their money into cryptocurrencies systematically or in tranches, and depends on their capacity, etc. But what happened after the prices really took off in 2019 and 20, that a lot of institutions got interested, and that's how the interest rate concerns, the interest rate concerns that you just pointed out, they kicked in. Because if there's a hedge fund which wants to make money for its clients, they would want to look for lucrative investments. Everybody diversified their portfolios and included crypto in their
And hence the capital which they are bringing is from the interest rate sensitive area.
Exactly. So that is very sensitive to returns, and they are the ones who make decisions very, very, very quickly, because they have to produce results for their investors as well. So yeah, I think that's something which is causing a lot of havoc these days.
So for our viewers, we'd like
markets.
to clarify that Samrat is pointing out towards the correlation between the cryptocurrency market and the stock market. Why there is a correlation? Because there are heavy institutional investors who have already invested in cryptocurrency market, which are actually drawing the attention and the thesis from the stock market, and hence the correlation and the capital theme which Samrat has pointed out.
And hence a lot of news about it.
Exactly. So one thing, Samrat, since you are pointing out about the institution drive as well. So what has happened in this fall is Bitcoin dominance as far as the total market cap is concerned had fallen to roughly around 41%, but it has actually riding towards 47 odd percent, which shows that there are broader sell-off in riskier assets, and they are moving towards Bitcoin. So my question to you is, will this dominance of Bitcoin will continue in 2022, or you have a different idea?
That's a great question, Manoj. So let me take a step backwards and start with how institutions have come in and why it has become so sensitive. So there are two types of institutional investors which are coming in. One is the investors who want to retain Bitcoin as cash and cash equivalents on their balance sheet. So there are companies which like Tesla, etc., who want to own Bitcoins and keep it with themselves.
Perfect.
MicroStrategy, I mean, they're the leaders in the world who are showing it to everybody that, hold Bitcoin forever. And
don't
then
sell
there
your
are
Bitcoin.
other-
I had spoken to that guy, Michael Saylor, during the Bitcoin Miami conference, and he specifically told that never sell your Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a T-shirt which says "Never sell Bitcoin." So yes, so one is that kind of companies, which have come in and they want to hold onto crypto assets and declare it even on their balance sheets also. And on the other side, there are investors who are in the business of making money for other people. So that's the hedge fund example that I just took. So so both these kind of companies have different risk appetites towards the capital that they've put in. They have a different investment horizon
Right.
for which they want to hold the crypto assets.
Fantastic.
and see returns. So that is why, and then because of this sudden market shift which happened in the past few weeks, both these category of investors got a little jittery on the crypto assets that they were holding. So now coming to your question on Bitcoin dominance, I think that's a great point that you pointed, towards increasing market cap of Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin was always seen as a base currency for the crypto world, right? So it's like the US dollar of the crypto world. Everybody wants to come in and hold Bitcoin because I mean the sheer number of holders of Bitcoin is huge. So people seek some kind of security, relative security in Bitcoin as compared to other riskier assets. So
Perfect.
that's one key trend which I would say has caused this increase in the holding, which is people selling their more riskier assets and converting that money into holding and keeping that money in the form of Bitcoin. The other reason is also a lot of people reverting to Bitcoin is because because it was very early in the game. Bitcoin was very early in the game, so some people got in very, very early in the game. I was fortunate that I was also one of them. So if, let's say, I got a Bitcoin for $500, and currently it is at whatever, it went up to 60, 65, and then it sort of came back to now today almost around 30. So I'm still in a lot of profit, right? So I would want to now, not be in a currency like a Terra Luna and maybe revert back my investments into Bitcoin, because I know, I'm doing any day doing better in Bitcoin. So
Sure.
that's also one of the reasons that a lot of people had a sort of a homecoming moment for themselves.
All right. So since we are talking about cryptocurrency market and the way forward, you also give a very nice perspective about the Bitcoin thing. But we are talking about this discussion for which we have invited you is about Ethereum and its way forward. There are few points which we wanted to for you to clarify our viewers is the big ETH merger. So what is happening on that front, Samrat? If you can just highlight that, because Vitalik Buterin has already pointed out that August is the deadline for this merger from the proof of work to proof of stake, which is supposed to be happening, and the entire Ethereum community is pointing towards June 8 as the date. So can you just explain this entire episode for our viewers?
Sure. I think from an investor's perspective, they should see it as a turning point for Ethereum ecosystem. Let's also look at the ratios. So a lot of institutional investors used to point out to ratios between how are the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum moving together. They were considered to be like the gold and silver of the crypto world, moving sort of together, but then they got decoupled.
Exactly.
I also see, as you pointed out, the merge which is going to happen. So it's a major shift from proof of work to proof of stake. So everybody who heard about the computing machines racing to solve a problem and only the best miner getting the reward, all that is going to go away. So a lot of energy consumption, 99.95% energy consumption of Ethereum is going to go away. Currently, it uses energy almost equivalent to the energy consumption of Finland as a country. So it's going to go away. It produces a huge carbon footprint. So imagine that going to go away. So it's a big shift. The merge was going to happen in 5 steps. Few of those steps have been completed, and there are some delays as well. As I see, there are some engineering problems which causes. There is also a lot of news because there were two tokens at some point in time. There was ETH and there was ETH2. Okay, so people got a little jittery about what is ETH2 going to do, how is it going to act after the merge, etc. So I want to clarify that even if you're holding ETH2, it's going to go get merged. It's all going to become one token. So Ethereum is not going to go away. So ETH and ETH2 are going to be equivalent after the merge also. And why this shift? So Manoj, do you also want me to touch a little about layer 1 and layer 2 protocols and why this is
we will develop this going forward.
Okay, so the big merge is, as I said, it's going to happen step by step, and the biggest advantage that it's going to bring is the fall in gas fee. So that was and increase the transactions per second. So currently Ethereum is at about 10 to 15 transactions per second, which is super slow considering the world where we are moving. Everybody wants everything yesterday, so it's super slow for being a platform of choice for a lot of projects. So that is why this proof of stake move was very, very important. It'll give speeds to about, let's say, 10,000 transactions per second.
Fantastic. As we are pointing out about the lower gas fees and higher speed as well. Yeah. But Samrat, my question to you is, if you can just clarify this for our viewers, that if 2.0 is implemented, will the gas fee come down? If it will not come down, or it comes down, how will the layer 2 protocols will still be relevant? As we are talking about, there are Solana, there are many other protocols as well who are surviving as far as the bridge is concerned. So if you can just simplify this for our viewers.
Right. Sure. So other layer 1 protocols like Solana, for example, have their own use cases, and some projects have found that to be very beneficial to use Solana because it uses proof of work. It uses proof of history and proof of stake as well. So it's sort of it was very well suited for games which need a lot of transaction speeds. I think out of the box they were giving about 65,000 transactions. So
fantastic.
So really, if you were to ask me why layer 2s are important today, the answer is they help us package transactions and then roll up to Ethereum. So there's a concept called rollups.
All right. So if you can just simplify this, layer 2 means how you will define layer 2. And second, are layer 2 used only because they are low in gas fees and high in transaction speed as well, Samrat?
Sure. So Manoj, that's a great question. So I think for the investors to understand layer 2s, consider it to be like a plot of land. So that's an example which I generally take and try and explain things. So let's say if you were to construct a house on a plot of land, you will first have to acquire that plot of land and construct a building. So you will bear the cost of the land as well as construction of the building. And of course that will give you access to that housing space. But for example, if it was a warehouse, I mean, if living is a different condition altogether, but for example, if it's a warehouse, now imagine that same plot of land to get acquired and a 10-story building being constructed on that piece of land. So while the construction cost goes a little up, and but now there are 10 tenants which can come in, right? There are 10 owners which can come in. So now the price of the land, the cost of the land gets divided into these 10 owners.
Exactly.
So that's the very layman example which I could use to explain how the rollups are operating currently. So what they do is they collect transactions from various users and they buffer them on their chain for some time, and then they box them up together, and then they make one transaction on the Ethereum chain.
Fantastic.
So it's like providing a lot of optimization both in terms of cost and speed.
Fantastic. So since we are talking about Ethereum and its way forward, for our viewers, this is not an investment advice. This is just an educational series, which an initiative which Crypto TV has taken. This will help you to take your investment decision. This is not an investment advice. Moving on, what security challenges Samrat, you see, you foresee, or rather Ethereum 2.1, if you can just highlight that.
Sure. So I think you meant 2.0. The
2.0,
the
right.
newer version of Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
largely see that there are about 200,000 node validators who've already signed up for becoming a validator on the Ethereum 2 chain, and there are, there's still a waitlist. There's more people who want to get in. So any protocol becomes robust and really secure if there are more and more validators on it. And the market cap, you also know about the market cap of Ethereum. I mean,
Right.
it's
Perfect.
immense, and it does not compare to any other protocol which sort of got launched in the past couple of years. So I see the security to be very high because the decentralization level is very high. Plus, if I were to talk about just the node security, that part remains the same as it was in Ethereum 1. So the nodes, which are essentially servers, have to be secured against the same kind of threats that it was in version 1.
Sure. You mentioned about Solana. There is something which is going on between Solana and ETH. Solana is actually, there was one news I was reading that Solana has overtaken ETH in terms of NFT volumes. Is it a big concern, Samrat? It is something to worry because it has already been tagged as Ethereum killer. या उसको सही में मार दिया Ethereum को.
No, Manoj, that's a great question again. So I think this narrative only came because Solana spent a lot of money in calling it Ethereum killer.
All right, okay.
They just wanted to ride on the popularity of Ethereum, which they had
But
built on
NFT volumes, NFT volumes of Solana are increasing, and actually
Right.
for even for a one day, that means it has beaten Ethereum. It's a big thing.
So it's a very big thing actually, and as I was saying earlier, that there are some applications which are super relevant to be hosted on or to be run on Solana than on Ethereum. So, for example, if applications need really high speeds, let's say if I have an NFT and I'm issuing that NFT as an invite, then I can't have a person walking into an event and waiting for 15 seconds or 30 minutes for the transaction to get validated and spending gas fee on Ethereum just to validate their entry, right? So for those reasons, I think Solana sold beautifully because their transaction speeds are higher and their gas fee is very, very low.
All right. So there is one more concern for this ETH community. As details from the report outline, as the active users in the top Ethereum-based blockchain games, including the likes of Axie Infinity, the Sandbox, and Decentraland Mana, and many more have declined roughly around by over 90% since the beginning of 2021. You remember the scene, Samrat, when everything was looking good, $3 trillion,
Right.
the entire crypto market cap has reached. So what's happening now? The active users have fallen dramatically and drastically on Ethereum.
Right.
And especially, at a
Yeah.
time when this game fee sector has seen roughly around $10 billion worth of inflow only in 2022. At a time when cryptocurrency market is falling, this sector is witnessing a lot of investments from the venture capitalists, institutional investors as well.
Absolutely.
What's your opinion?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, bang on that point, Manoj. I was seeing just last week, A16Z announced a big $4.5 billion fund just doing gaming, right? They want to, and so not just gaming, but actually cryptocurrencies, crypto projects, and they're saying that 30% of all that money is going to go at seed stage. So you imagine they are still promoting crypto
Picture अभी बाकी है.
entrepreneurship. हाँ, picture अभी बहुत लंबी बाकी है, and I think they alone have the power of saving all of us from crypto winter. This is my belief. If somebody from A16Z is watching us, then you should definitely let us know your views, how you're thinking. But in my opinion, the kind of network and the kind of net worths that these people have, they can definitely save us from a big crypto winter. Even if something happens, it'll happen for few sections of the crypto economy. To your questions about the users falling or the transactions falling and other platforms gaining over, as I said, it's largely driven by where projects are migrating. A lot of these platforms, a lot of new platforms. For example, Solana has done a good job on organizing hackathons and giving out grants for people to migrate over to the Solana platform. So I think look at it more like a Pareto analysis. You will see there will be a lot of people who will move around, right? But eventually the projects who survive this whole crash, they're the ones who are going to choose the right chains for themselves. Even look at Polygon, for example. Polygon is a huge outcome of the Ethereum ecosystem, I would say. And few days back, their co-founder Sandeep, very dear friend of mine, he tweeted that we are the Ethereum killers. So they kill anybody who wants to kill Ethereum. They're lovely people, and I think so much so that they have got a dedicated team just on gaming. So they are doing great work. A lot of thousands of games, actually, thousands of projects have migrated to Polygon within this period that you're talking about. So I do see, while people may have fallen on the main chains, which is the layer 1 chain, but they have certainly gone on to the layer 2s, and it's largely because of saving costs on gas fee. I think that's all that is going to get settled while when the Ethereum 2 kicks in.
Fantastic. That's the second point which you wanted to highlight. My third question to you on yet another concern which investors are highlighting is, like Phantom, which is a very good blockchain for DeFi projects. Do you think so when we move towards the Ethereum 2.0 that it will support DeFi better as compared to the current situation, which is not looking favorable for ETH?
Yeah,
we wanted to bring all these points. This will help investors make their investment decisions. Since this interview with Samrat is not about any investment advice from Crypto TV, it is just to help investors take better decisions.
Right. Thank you so much, Manoj, for giving that disclaimer again and again. I would like to reciprocate that. It's just my research which I'm discussing here. It's also, the result of me being in this industry for a very long time, and also I have substantial holdings in cryptos all across the board. So yeah, coming back to the question, Manoj, that you asked, that's a great question. So if we were to compare, there can be protocols which can be launched even within the crypto winter, but will it beat the protocol which created the whole DeFi space? Now, Ethereum was the platform which gave the world smart contracts, which
exactly
gave the world tokenization, which gave the world the capability of doing DeFi. So I don't think it's
is it struggling,
anywhere soon.
Is it struggling somehow? It is struggling in this space as well.
I don't see it's struggling in terms of technology. I see it struggling in terms of prices, gas prices, fluctuating with time. The bigger projects, if you look at the biggest brands of the world, they have still chosen Ethereum to launch their NFTs. It's only the newer companies, the more price sensitive market, the startups who have chosen the platforms which give them the grants and which give a very low transaction fee for going ahead. So that's the way I look at it. It's just my point of view, and I'm
so what's the issue in pricing, Samrat? Somehow this pricing factor is coming again and again. Why don't they go ahead and lower the price and get their business back? What's stopping them?
So it's and that's the beauty, and it's like a double-edged sword. So that's what happens in decentralized networks, right? It is purely driven by all validators. So
fantastic
validators, and it's driven by demand and supply. So if there's huge demand, so for example, if the viewers and investors may have heard about CryptoKitties. There was a time when CryptoKitties became super interesting, and everybody wanted to jump on,
it's
and
like a superstar,
the entire network got choked. So at that time, the gas fee had gone very, very high. Now imagine if you had a car and you were driving from Mumbai to Pune, you would probably want to get the passengers who would pay the most, right? So that's exactly what is happening here, where the validators get to choose which transactions to pick up first and validate them first. So that's currently happening, but all that is going to get solved with the proof of stake, where the gas fee is going to get regulated. It's going to get capped. I don't want to give people any exact numbers, but few days back, Vitalik Buterin himself, he had published something saying, this will make sense only if gas fee goes under 5 cents.
Oh, all right.
Which will be amazing. Yeah.
So that only time will tell that, if you are seeing anything, around 5 cents. So in stock markets, we have already been seeing, a zero brokerage, but in cryptocurrency market, that is only time will tell. But definitely there was one more statement which Mr. Buterin Vitalik Buterin had already, passed, or he has given a statement on Soulbound Token. If you want to highlight or touch base very quickly upon, will this be a game changing as far as a new product line is concerned altogether? And will it be more popular than NFTs, or इतना firepower है क्या उसमें?
Let me give you a very high level view, Manoj, on Soulbound Token. So I'm yet to form my real opinions and have the real brainstorming sessions with the right guys on Soulbound Tokens. It's all very fresh, but I definitely believe that Vitalik is a visionary. He thinks. I mean, I met him a few days back in Amsterdam, and half of the things that he was talking about I couldn't even grab because he talks in like he talks like 5 years ahead of you of your understanding. So when he's discussing concepts, he's discussing at a different level. His level of understanding of mathematics as a subject is very very high. So and I believe in if he's highlighting something, definitely there is some firepower there. But yes, Manoj, maybe that's a discussion topic for one of our future episodes.
Sure, we'll keep this for our next episode, a special episode series.
Definitely.
Sure. One last question, Samrat, before we let you go is, you have been working with this Ethereum community from long. So is there any special features or advantage of that, ETH 2.0, which it is offering for DAO projects?
Okay, so DAO projects, it's an application. So just like cryptocurrencies or NFTs, consider DAOs to be an application of blockchain technology in general. Ethereum is so a good number of supporters of Ethereum have got together and they are launching a new DAO as well. In fact, so there are two things which I can talk about, since you mentioned about what special Ethereum is doing in these days. So one is the layer 2 protocols which are working with Ethereum. I am part of the working group, so I can definitely say that group has been officially launched. So if somebody wants to join, they can definitely look it up and join. It's called Layer 2 Working Group. So Layer 2 standard. So what we are doing is we are creating a Layer 2 standard, and it's going to be an open standard. Any protocol could pick it up and start complying. But what it means is, I'll give you another very simple example. It's like designing a USB port.
All right.
So if let's say you have a USB port, then you can use devices from any provider as far as they meet the USB 2.0 or 3.0 standard. The devices will fit in your laptop, right? Or whichever device you're using. So the same way, the layer 2 protocols have to also comply with certain, as of now they're not, but if in future they start complying to one standard, the interoperability will become very simple. So that means, again, more adoption, more applications will be able to use Ethereum in general. The second thing that is happening is, which is very, very exciting for me right now, and some big names are involved in this. It's called the ETH Adoption DAO. That has also been recently announced. People can visit the website ethadoptiondao.xyz. It's a DAO which is for globally promoting Ethereum, for projects to come on board and start using Ethereum. There's also a huge fund which is being put behind this, so that it could support new projects to come on board very, very fast. There are going to be commercial people involved in this DAO, so they will help these projects make commercial sense as fast as they can, so that go to market as fast, start making money. So that's the overall agenda I can give you right now, and more to come, more details to emerge, more partners to emerge very, very soon.
Sure. That's a fantastic view which you have given, exclusive information which Samrat has.
That is exclusive information.
That is actually an exclusive information which Samrat has given to Crypto TV. Thank you so much, Samrat. And this last three questions. Actually, it's a rapid fire question to you. Very quickly, You have to answer this. So do you think going forward, Ethereum will get its mojo back as far as NFT volumes are concerned? Very quickly, Samrat.
Yes. As an ecosystem, yes.
By when?
Oh, by when? I think it's already killing it. Isn't that the case?
So as far as dominance is concerned, will it be better than the Bitcoin? What do you think?
Not in the next 10 years.
And what's one last question? Will Ethereum have the investor confidence as far as the gas fees is concerned, which is a bigger concern as of now, which the investors rather are facing?
Yes, so definitely it will solve it. If I can elaborate on that rapid fire question a little bit, it's also, me and a lot of other people are working on enterprise Ethereum adoption as well. So we are just going to see more and more projects and bigger projects to come on board.
Sure.
There is also a very big buzzword in these days, which is called ESG. So every company has become very carbon conscious, and they are trying to do things which are in a very environmental friendly way. So by cutting down the emissions of Ethereum from by 99.95%, Ethereum 2.0 is becoming the protocol of choice for a lot of projects which are avoiding it because of the high carbon output as well. So I think it's just upwards from here.
Thank you so much, Samrat, for being part of this interaction on ETH 2.0. It's way forward and it will definitely help our viewers to make investment decisions, as we have already pointed out. So that's all there is in today's interaction on Crypto Masters. This is Manoj Dara signing off. Thank you.